Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Wu, and I am listening. Together, we are navigating through, we are thriving in, and we're growing from this present trauma or any other future traumas heading our way. Together, we are becoming better, we are becoming stronger, and we are becoming healthier together. So there's still quite a bit of fear, still quite a lot of trauma in our nation and in the world. Since the whole nation and the world witnessed the murder of Mr. George Floyd, there's so much trauma we still have to process and reconceptualize, and that's really what I've been trying to do for the last 2 weeks. So just a lot of things, kind of heavy. So let's bring on the breath. Calm down that critter brain and engage our brilliant brain. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in, get the shoulders up to the ears if you want to, and then exhale, drop your elbows down. Deep breath in and exhale down. Deep breath in and exhale down. Excellent. So, the feelings are of fear. And again, we were not created for fear. The Holy Scripture says that we were not given the spirit of fear. Instead, we have been given the spirit of power, right? Power right in the gut, of love, and of a sound mind. We have been given a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. We have not been given a spirit of fear. So the element of fear or threat or danger, that is supposed to be only happening periodically, occasionally. Activates our critic brain, the stress brain, nervous system that goes, oh yeah, fight, flight, or freeze. But chronically, we're not supposed to be in that state of fear. If we are, then it will bring havoc onto our mind, body, and spirit, since we're not made for that. Inflammatory systems will go up, immune systems go down, and digestive systems, leaky gut, autoimmune disorders, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, anxiety, depression, PTSD, suicide. The list goes on. So this really is very important. How we navigate through this, how we thrive in this, and how we're going to grow from all this trauma. Since this is what has been on the menu now for our life, we do have to deal with it. All right? Again, the trauma is just timelessness again, powerlessness, helplessness. When we're in the critter brain, that is the primitive brain, you'll see a lot of fear, anger, right? Fight or flight or freeze, and that's what's been going on. You know, the peaceful demonstrations were good, but then they were rioting, so anger. Black Lives Matters, then other people were saying all lives matter, and there seemed to be division. So when I was talking about the pandemic, the COVID was the common enemy against the entire human race. So I didn't really have any struggles talking about that, since we all knew our common enemy and we're all united. The human race was literally united against the COVID virus. However, right now, our enemy, our common enemy now, is fear. It is not each other. However, because of different perspectives, or because maybe everybody's been in the critter brain, so the higher functions are not engaging, communications is breaking down. So that there's been division instead of unity against the common enemy, which again is fear. So what I believe is that the Holy Scriptures are actually the very words, and they're actually inspired words, breathed by Creator God. So I do take the words in the Holy Scriptures very literally. So it says also that the perfect love is what drives out fear. Because I've been really trying to find out, how can I help people help me, help the world deal with this fear that is upon us. This is the enemy, fear. How do we fight off the fear? So the answer is with love, and it has to be perfect love. Because fear has to do with punishment. So perfect love drives out fear. So how are we going to do that, right? So number one, I have been staying the Holy Scriptures actually says, and a little bit of dust to the wind here at the pool. The Holy Scriptures also says that if my people will humble themselves, and my people means people like me that are Christians, I must humble myself. I must pray. I must seek His face, which means to seek His opinion and His will, His perspective, and then turn from my own wicked ways. So that's very important. So I really have been staying very humble, very open, trying to educate myself on this whole racial injustice and all the different abuses of power that's going on. Domestic violence. The CEOs at the hospitals. Not giving PPE to my colleagues in the hospitals and so forth. So I've really been trying to stay humble. Of course, not perfect, but I have been trying to stay humble and open, not judgmental, and really try to understand all that's going on and how people are thinking, so that somehow I could help with the solution or be the solution, right? So there was one that was very good. Pastor John Gray had a wonderful dialogue, very vulnerable, open, honest, with Pastor Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is white, John Gray is black. So I just wanted to share some of this, of his life stories, just so that we can expand our concept of what our fellow black brothers and sisters in America actually live through. That chronic stress again. See, there's a chronic stress that we have not been recognizing, and it's good that we're recognizing it. It's beneficial that we're recognizing it. Number one, so for a black male, he asked Pastor Joel, have you ever been pulled over, for traffic? And Joel Osteen says, oh, yes, of course I have, And then Pastor John says, well, have you ever feared for your life when you got pulled over? And the answer to that, if you're not black skinned, is no, because I know I've never feared that. The only thing I would fear is a ticket or points on my insurance, right? This is for a black male who can look very threatening to a policeman. There's a certain demeanor you must take on, because literally when they get pulled over, they have to entertain. Their critter brain does get activated. They must entertain the possibility that they may be going to heaven and not make it home from this in a few minutes. So in order to not be threatening, the hands have to be on the wheel, and very respectful tone, even with a body posture not so powerful and not so threatening. The other thing is there was Miss Latanya being interviewed with Dr. Leaf, Carolyn Leaf show, and again she's African American, and she's a professional woman. She was looking at apartment buildings, found one that was quite nice. And so the real estate agent said, oh, excellent, let's sign the application. And then she said, oh, I know, I wish I could, but I can't. You don't understand. The police department is right behind this apartment complex. And so the real estate agent said, well, that's wonderful, isn't it? More protection. And then she said, no, you don't understand. I have a teenage son who's black like me. And one time, if he's coming back a little later in the evening with some of his friends with backpacks, then my son's life might be in danger, because this is an affluent apartment building complex. Again, be another victim of a black man, unarmed, being murdered by authorities. So these are the things that are just a little bit of what's going on. But investigate for yourself to understand what this is. Because I didn't really understand Black Lives Matter. I really didn't take the time in the past to really investigate it. So I am grateful that I am investigating it to understand my own world and my fellow human beings. Better late than never. So Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that it is more important. Black lives are more important than other lives. It's just that Black Lives Matter equally have not been given an eco status. So, and the one explanation that I really resonated with is my house matters. Your house matters too, but my house right now is burning down. So if your house is not burning down, then you need to you don't need to, but you have the option or the choice of using your privilege. Your privilege means you have the privilege of having water. So you can use your privilege to come help me with my house that is burning down. And then after the firemen are gone and the media is gone, then will you then choose to stand with me, your fellow neighbor, in the driveway and look at the destruction that has occurred in my house? And will you care enough to just be present? Will you be curious enough? Curious and just curious and no judgment. Just are you open enough to ask me if I need bathroom privileges because my house just burned down? Do I need a place to stay? Do I need help to call the insurance company? Do I need food? So this is where we need to be. All right. So again, we're all created with different colors because that's the way the Creator God likes. He does not make cookie cutters. He likes to create amazing, beautiful human beings, all different, each unique, with each a plan and his a role to play in his huge theatrical, gorgeous play. So the heart. So remember, we have been given the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So the Holy Scripture says that the only thing that drives out fear is love. So I've really been trying to ascertain what kind of answer could there be. And this one's really wonderful. It's called the heart-brain connection. So there turns out to be, there are actually more than 40,000 neurons in the heart, contained in the heart. So the heart is not just a pumping muscle. It actually has a little brain of its own. And it actually was mapped out by a cardiologist. And there's a neural pathway actually connecting the heart brain, the neurons in the brain, in the heart, straight up to the amygdala, which is the critter brain. Which makes sense, right? When there's danger, the critter brain tells the heart, hey, beat faster, right? Heart rate variability, go chaotic because I need you for fight or flight or freeze, right? To handle this danger. The only thing is that right now, and even around our society, and then also with the pandemic and all these other traumas that are coming on us, we are basically, everyone is at chronic stress level, which is not healthy for us, like I said. So we really have to circumvent that. And it turns out that actually, as far as they're traveling highway, actually 90% of the traffic goes from the heart to the brain, which is very surprising to me. So in other words, when we're stuck in the critter brain, you're in a very stressful environment, or you're looping your mind. You can't, stop your mind from stopping, ruminating with all the stress and fear going on. Really having a hard time turning off that critter brain, just to give it a little rest. It needs to rest for health. It has to rest. So you do the heart. So you do the heart math, breathing, meditation technique. And meditation just means focused attention. So we're all meditating. You're either focusing on toxic thoughts or you're focusing on something productive. We cannot control the thoughts that come into us. Birds fly, we can't control it. However, we can control if we're going to put twigs and make a nest on top of our heads for this bird to land on, right? So we do not want that. We want to only land and make a nest for good, healthy birds. Yes, if you want to think about it for thoughts, because then our lives will be wonderful. So number one, we're going to put our hands again onto our hearts, right? And again, do this when you're in a pretty safe, relatively safe environment. And again, after a stressful encounter, or you're just having loops of thoughts, you're trying to stop the rumination or the anxiety attack or the depression, or the hypervigilance, basically, from PTS. So put your hand, see which one feels better. Put it right on your heart, all right, right on your heart. And you're going to close your eyes. You're going to take deep breaths. Breathe in the fresh air. Bring on the breath. Breathe that in. But breathe it in right into the heart. And then breathe it out from the heart. Breathe it in to the heart. Breathe it out from the heart. Breathe it in to the heart. Breathe it out from the heart. And just keep doing this. And with your mind, you're going to think about something you're grateful for. Something you're grateful for. Maybe some person that you're grateful for. Breathe that in. Somebody that you're just, kind thoughts to. Somebody you really care about. Just have just loving thoughts to, feelings, times you really appreciate. Maybe you're grateful for, the little joy. How your family pet greets you. Breathe that in. Keep your eyes closed. And just breathe that in. What do you see? What do you feel? How does that feel? Feel that unconditional love of a pet? How about the last time you've just been so marveling at nature? Maybe a bee, saw a little bee getting some nectar from a sweet-smelling magnolia flower. Breathe that in. Breathe that out. Breathe it right into the heart. Breathe it right into the heart. Breathe that love out. How did that feel? That joy, that marvel. How about think about a time where you were actually very proud that you accomplished something. Maybe you lost 10 pounds or didn't eat the chocolate. Maybe somebody just graduated from high school or medical school. Breathe that in. How does that feel? That sense of accomplishment and success and just ready for the next journey? Breathe that in. How about a time you just felt so favored and blessed by God? Spent $1.50 on an oyster. It turned out to be an amazing pearl. Breathe that in. Breathe that out. How about something funny? A funny time. Oh, you just laugh and laugh when you picture it. Picture it. What's going on? How does that make you feel? You couldn't stop laughing. Maybe the corners of your mouth are going up and you're smiling. Is there a smile? Maybe you're giggling even. Breathe that in. Breathe that out. Breathe in this love. Breathe in this love. And breathe that out. Breathe in the love. Right into the heart. Breathe it out through your entire body and out into this world. Breathe in that love into the heart. And then breathe it out from the heart into the body, into the world. Now ask yourself, ask your heart, what is it I need to nourish? How can I nourish my own heart? Then how can I then be tip-top shape to then nourish the hearts around me, the people? How can I nourish the heart of this entire world? But first, what is it that I need to do? What does my heart need? What do I need to nourish my heart right now? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful technique. Remember, meditation is focused attention. We really do have to control. There's a filter from the Holy Scriptures. 4 questions, 8 together. And these are the thoughts you should go. Number 1, is it true? If it's not even true, kick it out. Number 2, is it noble? And this is usually some of my toxic thoughts or ruminating thoughts. They don't even go past the noble, because it could be true that there has been somebody's lied to you, they've stolen your money, they've been mean to you, they've bullied you, or maybe they've left you completely, ruined your finances, your career, or divorced you. So that is true. However, is it noble what's been done? Not really. It's actually heartbreaking. So kick that out. But at the same time, you're going to kick it out. You're not going to ruminate on it. But you are going to acknowledge it, process it, and realize, This thought is telling me that my boundaries have been violated. I must protect myself and make sure that I am safe in the future. But then after that, there's no reason to ruminate or to meditate on it anymore, right? Kick that out. So remember, is it true? Is it noble? Like I said, most of the times it doesn't even go past there. But if it does, is it right? Righteous? Is it pure? Is it lovely? Is it admirable? Something you brag about? This thought of yours. Is it of is it something that you want to report to everybody? It's excellent on social media, and is it actually praiseworthy? So in other words, would you like to actually maybe write a book on the thoughts that you've just been ruminating on? Do you think it actually will bless the whole world? Will it actually uplift the human race? So this filter, this 8 filter, might be actually helpful even before you post social media, because really, if it doesn't really post this filter then maybe you might, or I might, be adding toxicity into the water, into the human race, instead of progress and growth and love. We're created for love. And I had a hard time I wanted to share this with you. Just I was listening to The Blessing. You can look YouTube it. There's a wonderful song called The Blessing. And because of the pandemic, various nations have actually recorded The Blessing to bless their countries and to bless the whole world. So I happened to watch the Nigerian one, and I just loved it. It's a noble African people, race. Different arts, music, language, so beautiful. But then I was struck. I was brought to tears because then I thought back to centuries ago, this beautiful, beautiful, ebony, beautiful, glowing-skinned, powerful people, noble race, were systematically abducted off the beaches and then into their villages, abducted. Shackled with thick iron shackles around their neck and other extremities, piled into slave ships horrendously, and then brought to an alien place where then they were treated worse than any farm animals for centuries and centuries. So we cannot. And then now for Mr. George Floyd to again not be able to. This has to be addressed. So whatever your sphere of influence, I am privileged. You are privileged. We are privileged because I do not have the fears of the chronic stress that the Black Americans, my brothers and sisters, have. All the black brothers and sisters in other countries, I do not know. But I can only be concerned with my country now. This is where I can have an influence. This is what I'm responsible for. So I have actually been trying to also figure out, because somebody did actually make a racial comment the other day, a friend, and I didn't know how to address it. So actually I've been working on it for a few days, really. Actually, no, for a few more than a week now. So what I have, because I'm just not witty, I'm not sarcastic or humorous that way. So what I have come up with, next time I see this, I encounter this is what I'm going to say. Oh no, actually I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? Can you educate me? What do you mean? What do you mean about a white woman or a black man? What do you mean? So that's what I'm going to do. Let's work together. Let's work together. This is the pause reset button. This is the time for us to be humble, no judgment, be open, be present for our brothers and sisters, be present for ourselves, nurture ourselves so we can be present for our brothers and sisters in their time of need. Let's find out what it is like to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. We've got to have, we can look at our black brothers and sisters, or we can look at a COVID patient that is dying alone in front of us. We can say, I see your suffering. I did not cause your suffering, but I see your suffering. And I am choosing to be present with you, and I am going to do all that I possibly can to be here, to help you somehow. I am not the one that's going to solve this problem, this suffering, but I'm going to I'm going to do my darndest to fix the system, to fix myself, to stand up for the weak, the defenseless. I'm very proud of the peace demonstrators. I'm very proud of the medical residents now that are protesting against the hospital CEOs that are still refusing to provide PPE, adequate PPE for this frontline war. It's like me having to fight for Kevlar before we went into enemy territory in Iraq with Desert Storm. All right. No, we're gonna have peaceful demonstrations. Let's calm down the critter brain so that it does not go into rioting or anything, anger, or succumb to any other enemy forces that may be out to fight against America while we are hurting, while we're wounded. We do have to be aware of that. So, and peace like a river. And remember, love, perfect love, drives out fear. Perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love gets rid of fear. Perfect love replaces fear. We are made to love. We have not been given a spirit of fear. We've been given a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Power, love, and a sound mind. Let's work together, get some solutions going. Let's fix this system. We are getting better. We are not returning to what was. It's unacceptable. We're going to get better together. We are getting better together. We are committed to we are getting stronger together. We are getting healthier. In the name of Yahweh, Jehovah, Messiah, great physician, Yahweh Rapha, and the Lord that provides all that we need. He tells us everything that we need is all there. Jehovah Jireh. Shalom, Prince of Peace. Love, Abba Daddy. Love, unconditional love. Love, love, love. Love drives out fear. Shalom.